Hello everybody, Anna Sabramowitz here. I hope you're having a fabulous Friday. I have a special announcement today and a little bit of a preview of what's coming up. So hopefully you can join me. Now, today what I'm going to talk about is interactive stories. A lot of buzz lately about some fun ones that the group has released. But also a lot of you are curious about, how do you use this strategy for my audiences, for how to engage people in my context. And I'm going to talk about that today and give you a little bit of that framework. And if you like it, then I have something special for you guys. So you better say hi if you're jumping on LinkedIn. I love seeing your comments. There's always a bit of a delay with these things, but hey, let's get it going. All right, so first off, let's talk about some of the struggles out there, right, that we have, which is that we have a bunch of people that we want to influence. We have a bunch of people that we really want them to, what's learning about? Learning is about us taking somebody from a state of an awareness, right, basically. They don't know what they need. They don't know what they don't know. And we're trying to get them to engage with some kind of resource. We are trying to get them to take some kind of action. But one of the things that ends up being a challenge for us is that we design learning for people that we think are excited about learning. And that bites us in the butt. And the reason that is because most people are actually just fine where they are, right? Like, life is okay. And so what happens is we craft all these excellent learning experiences. They sit in tons of these awesome, learning repositories. I'm sure, LinkedIn Learning is full of amazing resources. But I talk to people every day who are like, my organization has access to LinkedIn Learning. My organization has access to, we've built all this custom training, custom for our staff, and only 3% of them are actually ever looking at it. Which is crazy, because the thing is that you can say, maybe we don't actually need more training. Maybe the challenge is that we get people to actually somehow awaken to the fact that this is going to be useful for them, right? Hey, Ellen's here. Hi, Ellen. Nice to see you. So this is what happens. We share with them. We're at the top here, and we talk to them, and we're like, this is good for you. This is going to make your life better. This is going to make you more productive. And people over here are like, oh, I'm good. So how do you awaken them to this? How do you make them jump on this journey? Because guess what? Learning is uncomfortable, right? Most people don't enjoy stepping outside of their comfort zone. They'd rather do things, even if they're not good for them, the way they've always done them, because that's comfortable. It's, you've heard of that saying, the devil you know, right? There's a reason it exists, is because this is true. Are you with me? Are you with me? So how do we get over this? Instead of crafting more and more experiences that simply fall on deaf ears, because that's what a lot of this is, how do we get people to get excited about that journey? How do we get them invested? How do we sell them? And how they sell themselves, that's a big deal. How do we get them to sell themselves on jumping on, getting into that LMS, looking for that course menu going, oh yeah, this is going to help me. I want to become better at sales, customer service, leadership. I'm going to become a better widget maker, more efficient. I'm going to spot problems. I'm going to, do better quality assurance because I know that this contributes. How does this make me and my life better, right? Yeah. And Douglas is saying, but Babbel is the standard experience. Absolutely. And one of the things that is kind of interesting is that it's kind of like, when you talk to experts, they have their own kind of special Babbel. And what happens, and I call this techno Babbel, but what happens is once you're kind of attuned to it and you're excited about it, you'll watch a 3-hour podcast with like a scientist on how to improve your health or whatever, because you're already aware that this is going to help you, and you're stepping out of that comfort zone and so going, yes, definitely. Okay, I'm going to learn some new phrases here. It's going to be interesting, and I know it's going to help me. So I'm sold on it. But a lot of times we assume that, information has to be short and punchy so that people don't get bored and distracted. Well, that's not necessarily true, because then, podcasts that run for 3 hours would actually not exist if everybody was so distracted. The reason those people listen and stay and pay attention is because they're sold on what that thing is going to deliver for them, right? Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. So what I wanted to tell you guys about is this interactive storytelling and where does it actually fit, right? So an interactive story, what it's supposed to do is, you know, can you guys see this? Yeah, this person right here, right? Totally. I'm gonna make sure that you can actually see that. Sorry, everything's a little, yeah, here we go. Okay. So here, yes, we've got this person who's running away, right? And basically, let's consider this kind of the journey of the learner. And this could be like the next step is training, the next step is a webinar, the next step is them signing up, looking at for something that's specific to them in the LMS, whatever, reaching out to a mentor, finding a buddy, talking to their manager, something, writing down their goals, right? Whatever that action is. But they're in this state, then this state is poo-poo. So we want to get them to a state of happy, excited, enabled, knowing what to do next and feeling excited about that journey. And that's where an interactive story comes in. So the interactive story is supposed to sell them on that journey. The interactive story is not going to tell people about how to do something. What it's going to do is get them aware about the fact that there's a different possibility. And also, this is the other thing that's super important, that maybe what they're doing is not in their best interest, that maybe there's a better way. And also, are there consequences over time that they're not seeing right now that actually will hurt them in the end as a result of their decisions? But this is the magical thing about interactive stories. You're not pointing a finger at them and saying, you're wrong, you're doing things wrong. The interactive story is meant to help you step away from, that protective ego thing that you've got going on, get you lost in that story, and experience the world through the character's eyes. And then what happens as a result is you let your guard down a little bit, right? And what happens is I'm able to maybe show you a different future that, if it's makes sense for this character, could be yours too, if only you decided to jump on this journey. This is huge, right? So obviously it's a little more, I'm kind of giving you a big picture overview because there's strategy behind this. You don't just plop a name down going, John's gonna learn how to be better, and at the end he's gonna be better. Yay, do you also want to be better? That doesn't work like that. And so storytelling definitely has a formula, and storytelling has mechanics. And what's amazing is that you now, as a person who designs interactive learning, the people I work with are design e-learning, and now they're able to take the power of that software and craft a story where you are also giving people the power of agency, which is one of the sexiest things ever, right? For people to be able to actually choose their own outcome. Crazy cool. Now, if that sounds like something awesome and you want to learn more about it, tomorrow, which is Saturday the 26th, I am running two live webinars where I walk you through how I discovered this, where I was making those mistakes, because I think the people who would enjoy being on the webinar are people who know there's more. Maybe they're stuck. They're like, I'm creating all these things that are very, very, they're engaging, but people aren't engaging with them. So how can I take things to the next level and maybe persuade better, motivate emotion better, all those things, right? How do I really connect with people? So if that sounds intriguing to you, you really want to be there. So I'm going to go through not only the mistakes that I've made in my lessons, so you can incorporate those right now. Basically, you're going to be saving about 10 years of my banging against the wall. You get to see the process and its kind of final, stages. You're going to also see the strategies that you can apply immediately to your work to actually take away some of that overwhelm that comes with having access to software, and then stepping back and going into the frameworks of what actually makes a story good. Because it's simpler than you think. And I think we overwhelm ourselves with the possibilities instead of stepping back and saying, hey, what's going to work here? What's that framework? And then once you've got that solid, then you can add complexity. But I'm going to show you how to scale it back so that you have the base set up first so that you can build on it. Because if your foundation sucks in story, it doesn't matter how sexy and beautiful it looks, it's going to suck. It is. Nobody's going to resonate with it. I see tons of stuff like that every day, and I'm sure you do too. So the other thing that you get to see at tomorrow's webinars is the projects that not only have been coming out of our community of interactive storytellers, because I run a coaching program, but also from around the world, the ones that have inspired us. And one of the things I like to do is show you the different contexts where these kinds of interactive stories can be applied. Because I think when you see it, it gives you ideas on how you can apply it in your own context. And as many people that I've worked with have said, when you look at these different examples, it informs your own work. Because, you know, when you work by yourself, or if you're in a department of one, you only get to see the things that you're doing. And then what happens is you're kind of in an echo chamber of, you know, this is my stuff and this is what it looks like. But looking at other people's work and how they're taking the same framework and they're applying it in their context, and they're, you know, borrowing the pieces that they think will add more drama or more excitement to that interactive story. Those are the things that are super valuable. It's just seeing how everybody else is using the same framework in a different context. Amazing stuff. So if you want to join us, look for Engaging E-Learning. This is a group on Facebook. The events are there. We're going to have a big Zoom session. There's only 100 seats. The sessions will run. There's one at 8 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, and then at, I believe, 4 PST. Make sure you register, and then you'll get a link to actually attend, and it's a live Zoom session, so you guys get to ask questions, participate, connect with fellow interactive storytellers, people who also want to build stories and see their value. Or if you're not sold yet and you're like, I don't think this will work for my audiences, perfect. I want to see you there, because you're going to get a ton of value. And worst case scenario, you're going to think differently about everything you design from then on, because I'm going to show you some killer examples visually, mechanically, how they work, and also just how to think about these things, how to talk to people to get stories out of their brains. So if that sounds awesome, you better like this video and share it and bring your friends. That'd be awesome. I'll put the link underneath, or you can just look for Engaging E-Learning on Facebook, and you'll find that group, ask to be a part of it, and then register for that event. It is absolutely there for you to participate in. I don't run them live very often, so this is your chance. Don't miss it. Any questions as a result of what I said today? Just post it in the comments, but best way is just to show up and be like, hey, this is my audience. How would this work for me? How do you see this working in this context? This is the project I'm working on. How would a story fit here? So I'd love all those questions because I've been answering them for a while now, and I bet you I can help you with your context. All right. So it was wonderful to have you guys here. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. And if all goes right, I will see you in tomorrow's session. Okay. Take care. Bye, everybody.